I think I can donate only half lang of my salary as a senator to charity.
Attorney, ba't may Korean guy dyan sa likod mo?
Ha? Oh.
Korean supporter, let's go to Senator Jen Escobar.
Parang bata pa ako, nagbinata na ako, di pa tapos yung teleserye.
Kailan natapos?
Di ko na nga matandaan, pero parang binata na ako.
Hi mga kumartes, I'm here at Attorney General Arnel's house and I'm here to do a Q&A with him. So, tell us what you do.
Well, actually, I'm already retired.
Okay.
But I retired from the Philippine National Police. Well, first of all, I graduated from the PMA, Philippine Military Academy in 1987. After that, I joined the Philippine Constabulary briefly during the transition period from Philippine Constabulary bago siya naging PNP. So, siguro mga 3 years and after that, PNP na. So, from there, I spent almost more than 38 years sa service.
Wow, ang tagal.
Of course, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity doon to take law, kaya naging abogado rin tayo.
What school?
Well, I started in San Beda College of Law, first year, second year, kaya lang, I have a case, service-related, sa Bicol region. So, I transferred to Aquinas University now, tawag nila dyan, University of Santo Tomas, Legazpi. So, I graduated in UST Legazpi.
Ano yung focus niyo? Specialty?
Well, siyempre nasa law enforcement ako, so karamihan criminal cases. And then yung mga criminal procedure, those subjects na related to criminal law.
And how long were you an attorney?
Well, I passed the bar in 1998, kaya lang hindi naman ako makapag-practice because all the way when I was being promoted to hold the positions, kumbaga commander ako. So I cannot practice law. So I can only manage or supervise yung aking mga subordinates who are filing cases against the criminals.
Okay, so wala kang like you have a case and you have to defend a client?
Wala kasi hindi nga ako makapag-practice, but may mga kaso akong hinahawakan tulad ng mga administrative cases and cases sa prosecutor's office na it does not require actual trial. So marami rin akong nirepresent from the prosecutor's office and administrative bodies like the Civil Service Commission. So ganun.
So attorney, pati yung mga luloko, inaano nyo?
Well, siyempre, marami klase ng manluloko kasi una-una, I was assigned with the High Patrol Group. So maraming manluloko dyan, maraming karnaper, swindling involving a motor vehicle. So maraming dinadaya nila yung documents. So ganon. And then naging director din ako ng cybercrime group, PNP Cybercrime. So medyo
So I can ask you questions kung
pwede.
About cyber life.
Yeah, yes.
How about VAUSI?
Violence against women and children. Kasi may mga kaso rin kasi na through online, basta through the net.
Okay mga kumartes, I hope you guys learned something from Attorney General Arnel. So listen up, okay? We could learn something from him. So Attorney Arnel, tell me about your personal life. Do you have family? Do you have a wife, kids?
Oh, yes. Actually, my wife passed away last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because of an illness. But I have 5 children.
Are they also in law school and are they also
actually,
in law?
no. Yung dalawa, may kanya-kanyang pamilya na. One is in Japan, OFW. The other one is taking up a master's degree in architecture sa University of Melbourne. The other one is taking a first year engineering sa Monash, also in Melbourne. At yung bunso namin, puro lalaki kasi.
Oh, wow, 5.
Yeah, puro kita mo, puro. Yan, mga babae ko na namin yan, apo. And then yung bunso namin, dito, he's grade 12. And next year, he will also be going to Australia to study.
Oh, nice.
Kasi yung brother ko, youngest brother ko, is already in Melbourne at Australian citizen.
Isa lang ang kapatid nyo?
Kami, 6 kami. I am the eldest. And then yung kapatid kong sunod sa akin, si General Pelmore Escobar. He belongs to PMA Class 91. PNP rin, sa PNP rin. And already retired, but is staying in Davao. So I have two sisters.
Nakakatakot pa yung family nyo.
Hindi
Very
naman.
intimidating.
Hindi naman, because alam nyo, we came from a very poor family. Tenant farmer. And it was our opportunity na siguro, through education, makahon sa kahirapan. So we were lucky enough na dalawa kaming nakapasok sa PMA.
Oo. Mga kumartes, you guys have to study, work hard para maging like senator, well, soon to be, Attorney Arnel. Listen up. So, Attorney Arnel, I heard you you're going to run for senator.
Well, di ko nga alam ba't ako napasok dito. I'm actually already happy with my retired life. Just enjoying everything. Like to ride my motorcycle, big bike.
Be careful.
With my friends.
careful,
I trained.
Okay.
In 1992, I was also because I was the former Highway Patrol Group Director also.
Oh yeah, okay. You're an expert.
Yeah. And then, so yun na lang. Actually, and then visit my children sa Australia. But then I was asked, I don't know, what prompted them to ask me to run.
Well, with all your experience and all your knowledge, of course, qualified ka naman.
Well, siguro. Well, one thing kasi is I am the National President and the Secretary General of the Citizens Crime Watch, International Unified Force and Anti-Crime and Corruption Incorporated.
Okay.
So, we have chapters actually sa Europe, Italy, and other sa US meron din.
So kung elected ka, Kuya, Attorney Arnel, what can you do for the community of the people?
Well, actually, yun ang unang inisip ko talaga. What will I do if ever I become a legislator? Pero sabi ko nga, there are so many programs, so many projects na pwedeng pagtunan natin ng pansin. But then, wala lahat yan, walang mangyayari sa lahat na yan. If there's no transparency and accountability sa ating mga public officials. So, sabi ko nga sarili ko, first thing, I think para maipakita natin sa taong bayan na ang pagsiservisyo natin ay bukal sa ating kalooban. So, para sa akin, unahin natin yung good governance. So, we can attain good governance through transparency and accountability. Kasi sabi ko nga, if I ever will be elected as a senator, I will not accept the, PDAF ba yun, or CDF, because it was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. So, any congressional laws pertaining to pork barrel, kahit anong ilagay mong pangalan dyan, that's still pork barrel and unconstitutional. So, yan ang unang kuwan ko. And then, pangalawa, paano mo maipakita yung transparency and accountability na yung funds na nare-receive ng ating mga public officials, lalo mga legislators, congressmen and senators, liquidation through certification. So, they are actually investigating how public officials on how they use their public funds. Pero sila, kinukon ba nila? They divulge ba nila yun? Yung how they spend the government fund. So, kailangan na natin na yan, i-report sa taong bayan. Kaya ako sabi ko, I think I have to liquidate the funds entrusted to me by the people. So, kailangan I will liquidate it to the last peso and last centavo. Pangatlo nga, I think this will be very controversial. Because sabi ko, well, retired na ako. I am very grateful to the government kasi binigyan nila ako ng lifetime pension after more than 38 years in the service. So, para sa akin, very comfortable living na rin. And aside from the fact na yung misis ko dati, small-time businessman, nakapagpundar din kami ng mga properties. So, sabi ko, nag-aaral pa yung kuwan ko, tatlong anak ko. I think I can donate only half lang of my salary as a senator to charity. Yes. I will do that.
Wow!
Just to show the people na I don't need to get the money from the people and put it in my pockets. Yun lang ang number one na kuwan ko. So, yun ang unang-una ko talagang gustong ipakita at ipaalam sa taong bayan. And then, of course, sabi ko nga, education. Why education? Sabi ko nga, kasi galing nga kami sa tenant farmer. So, yun lang ang parang naging way for us to achieve yung goal namin na magkaroon ng comfortable life. Not necessarily filter rich. hindi ko inahangad na ganyan kung anong masyadong mayaman yan. Yung comfortable life lang naman eh. And then for everything to be provided for my children, na sila rin naman mabuhay din ng komportable. Yun, kasi marami sa atin hindi nakakatapos ng pag-aaral. And then later on, wala rin silang na-achieve sa kanilang buhay, kundi naghihirap pa rin sila. So yun, kaya lang problema natin yung educational system natin. So, I want to do something about it. Kasi tingnan mo, gaya-gaya tayo. Although sabi kasi nila, the last 3 countries na lang isa sa last 3 countries na lang Pilipinas na hindi nag-implement ng K-12. Kaya lang, ginaya natin, but then we only added another 2 years. Sa ibang bansa kasi, when you say K-12, yung last 2 years of the K-12 na yan, mamimili yung estudyante. Are you going to work after grade 12? Or are you still going to pursue a college degree? So, may option ka. Kung ang option mo is to work, so you have to take a vocational courses, bakery, carpentry, welding. So, mga parang mga blue-collar jobs. And then sa mga IT industries, you don't need to be a degree holder pagdating dyan. And then of course, if you want to take college degree, so kailangan na mas higher form of English siguro. And then mga math, yung mga ganon, yung mga higher to pursue higher degree. So yun. Kasi karamihan actually gusto nila tanggalin na yung K-12. So, but then, babalik tayo sa dati. Pero maraming argument kasi nasabi nila, ikaw, attorney, nag-K-12 ka ba? Hindi. So, marami sa atin, yung generation natin, except yung inabutan ng K-12, maraming hindi nag-K-12, pero successful lawyers, businessmen, lahat. Yan ang argument sa Manila with to scrap itong K-12. Kaya siguro, yan na siguro ang ayusin natin para at least hindi rin mahirap sa mga magulang na dinagdagan mo ng another 2 years and then hindi pa rin pala makakapagtrabaho yung mga
So, what do you think are the challenges for you
regarding
when you're running? What do you think your challenges will be?
Well, actually, yung campaigning namin it's not very traditional. Actually, marami nang sa akin, invitation, Visayas Mindanao, because dahil nga sa may mga alliances kami with other people's organization, ang grupo namin is the Citizens Crime Watch International, is accredited with the DILG. So, karamihan ng mga programs and activities ng DILG when it involves the support of people's organization, isa kami doon sa ini-invite nila tulad ng mga BIDA program, tree planting. So, in the process, marami kami nakikilalang mga grupo. Actually, I was already invited ng OFW, National OFW Association. So, sabi nila, they are composed of ilang millions yun, 4 millions yata ang kanilang membership. So, yun. And then, I was also invited by RECOM, Royal Empire Kingdom of Maharlika. Sabi ko, tamang-tama, Partido Maharlika kami. Because I am running under Partido Maharlika. So, most of them, sa RECOM naman, sabi nila, more or less, ganun din, mga 5 to 6 million din ang kanilang grupo. And karamihan dito, mga IP, mga indigenous peoples, and then mga Muslim tribes. So, sabi ko nga sa kanila, ibig sabihin ko yung paano niyo ma-implement yung mga gusto niyo sa area niyo. Because siguro, you don't realize na karamihan sa inyo are not voters. Because when I was the commander of Area Police Command, Eastern Mindanao, yung kapatid ko ay regional director sa 11. Ang ginagawa niya, yung mga IP, pinapamas mass baptism. Pinapabinyagan niya. And then after ng baptism, pinapa-apply na niya kasi mga driver sila ng habal-habal, ng mga sasakyan. So, tinatanggap naman ng LTO, ginagawa na sila ng driver's license. So sabi ko, in order for the indigenous people to become a formidable force, dapat alamin ng mga kanilang leaders, ng mga dato, whether they are already registered. Meron na ba silang birth certificate? And if meron silang birth certificate, iparehistro nila. Para sila as voters. Why? Yung area nila, yung lupa nila, ancestral domain nila, ancestral land. Sino ba yung namumuno sa lugar nila? Outsiders, hindi galing sa kanilang tribo. So, you see yung irony. Mas marami kayo, but you cannot run the place or your assistant drumel kung paano nyo gusto patakbuhin. Because outsider, puro business interest. Nagugulat na lang sila, nakalist na sa private companies o iba na yung may-ari. So, yun ang problema ng mga natin. So, sabi ko, para kakatakutan kayo at napakarami nyo, you can elect a senator, even a president siguro kung magkaisa kayo lahat and lahat ay magiging botante.
What do you do to prepare to run as a senator?
Well, siyempre, kailangan physically fit. Because when we will be starting to campaign February yata, so magiging yung schedule namin, magiging very busy na. And of course, ngayon pa nga lang, marami nang invitation sa akin, so I will be going to this people's organization, Visayas and Mindanao. And then, bukas parang may activity kami. I was invited sa parang People's Initiative, I don't know kung coalition yata to or movement. So, sa Aberdeen. So, I will also be attending. Kaya, yun ang preparation namin is, of course, yung aming chapters, kasi ang chapters namin nationwide, karamihan Region 4, Region 3, NCR, and then Visayas. So, yun ang magiging ko namin, parang manpower namin sa baba. To coordinate with of course, yung mga tatakbo rin, mga local officials, because sila rin ay supporters ng mga mayors, ng governors. So, sila yung bali magiging namin, tao na makikipag-coordinate when we will be starting to campaign nationwide. Asan nga yung aming organization, yung Citizens Crime Watch International, saka I am also a member of Alpha Pi Omega, yung fraternity.
Attorney Arnel, kung kailangan nyong gawing teleserya ang Senate, ano ang magiging title? Ang Probinsyano Senate Edition or Kapwa Ko Kalaban Ko?
Well, hindi kasi ako masyado nanonood ng mga teleserye na yan, pero nung bata pa ako, ang naalala ko yung Flor de Luna.
Di dapat mawala ang love na yun. Kahit mamatay siya.
Kasi sa sobrang tagal ng Senate inquiry na hindi pa matapos-tapos. And ganoon din yung Flor de Luna. Parang bata pa ako, nagbinata na ako, hindi pa tapos yung teleserye.
Kailan natapos?
Hindi ko na nga matandaan, pero parang binata na ako.
Sir, kapag may nakita kayong fake news tungkol sa inyo, iniisip nyo bang sagutin agad o baka gawa ng kapitbahay nyo yon?
Well, actually, yung mga ganyan, ini-ignore ko na lang yan. Kasi experience, as per by experience, naging commander ako, regional director, maraming mga fake news din.
Oo.
Pagka sinagot mo yan, humahaba. Sabi ko nga, sarili ko, akala ko yung iniintriga yung mga artista lang. Pati pala mga pulis, iniintriga rin. Kaya tingnan mo ngayon, ang daming intriga sa mga officers sa PNP.
Hala, dapat pala hindi ako sumasagot. So, Attorney Arnel, I heard, di ba sinabi mo na director ka sa highway?
Yes, dati.
Alam mo, the traffic here, it's so annoying.
Yes.
Yung traffic dito, like lahat, walang diretso na na lane, pag ganun-ganun lang. Diba? Compared to in the US, we're disciplined. Kung ganyan, it's just straight. We go by the lane. Dito parang, it's not, napaka-chaos. What can you say about that?
Well, obviously, ang pinakaunang problema is lack of discipline on the part of the motorist. And then, pangalawa, siguro yung mga regulatory agencies natin or nagbibigay ng mga licenses, hindi talaga nila ini-screen masyado yung qualified. But then, sabi ko nga, in order to solve partially yung problema sa traffic na yan, kailangan mapabilis. Because our problem now is about volume. So noon, when I was the Highway Patrol Director, merong P2P, ang tawag ng P2P, point-to-point bus. Ang problema, they have to compete with other motor vehicles ng space sa EDSA. So, ako ang nag-isip ng paraan kung paano sana mapapabilis. So, I came up with a P2P lane, exclusive lane, para sa mga buses. Kasi sinukat ko yan, if you will be running from Trinoma to Ayala, that will take only 25 to 30 minutes. So, ganun kabilis yun. But then, parang di na-appreciate ng mga natin, ng ating mga people in transportation kasi gusto nila may infrastructure, may infra project. Sabi ko ito, walang infra project. I will take charge of the traffic in EDSA. Just lend me yung barriers and I will at least move the traffic a little faster, sabi ko. So, di nila na-appreciate yun. And then, comes na nga na nag-COVID. So, that's the time na in-implement nila. But then, mali na naman yung implementation. Kasi sabi ko, bakit nakikipag-compete? I think they call it carousel lane sa EDSA. Because we already have the MRT sa taas. So, the MRT, ang revenue yan is going to the government. Ang problema sa carousel lane, private bus company, competing with the MRT because yung stop nila, yun din ang stop ng tawag ito na MRT. And then there's a new scheme yata na according to some people, I don't know kung totoo ito, na if you will be buying hybrid cars, sabi nila exempted ka sa coding. So sabi ko, bakit magiging exempted sa coding? It will add volume pa rin kasi ang ine-implement ng MMDA ngayon is a odd-even scheme or color coding scheme. So the purpose is to reduce the traffic volume. Paano kung lahat na lang pala, bumili na sila ng ng hybrid cars? So exempted na lahat sa coding. So sabi ko, anong logic meron doon kung ganyan ang gagawin nila? But then sabi ko nga, marami kasing paraan pa para mapaluwag yan. But then, di lang nila na-realize na you have to reduce yung conflict. Maraming conflict sa intersections na hindi na ma-manage ng traffic enforcers nila. So, but then, dati kasi, before the existence of MMDA, highway patrol talaga nagmamanage ng traffic sa EDSA and major thoroughfares dito sa Metro Manila. So, medyo kahit paano na-manage namin yan. But then, nung nagkaroon ng MMDA, so parang nasa kanila na yung management ng traffic. And to make the matter worse, may kanya-kanyang traffic scheme ang LGUs. Na sometimes it is not coordinated with the traffic scheme ng MMDA. So, yun talaga, that adds to the chaos. Kaya if we will have only a harmonized traffic plan, kahit nasabihin natin na yung volume talagang andyan na. But if you will manage the traffic harmoniously, magkakaroon ng faster movement ng motor vehicles.
Attorney, ba't may Korean guy dyan sa likod mo?
Ha? Oh.
Korean supporter, let's go to Senator Jen Escobar.
He is our neighbor and a very good friend.
I'm gonna meet him mamaya. I'm gonna do a Q&A also. Attorney Arnel, would you like to say something to the people?
Well, of course, I would like them to support me so that I will really bring a good service to the Filipino people, and I promise that I will not take your hard-earned taxes into my pockets.
Sure yan ha? Sure ka kuya? Dati may nag-promise sa akin, hindi naman natuloy.
Well, sure yan. So, watch me.
Okay. Okay mga kumartes, I hope you guys learned something. Please don't forget to support Attorney Arnel, soon to be Senator. Okay mga kumartes, till next time. Bye!